So welcome back to more Mega Man 5, and this time I decided to take on Waveman. And a Waveman stage is actually a little bit different than the other ones because there is actually a ride bike section that you get. It's a little bit different from the X games, but it still does get the job done. Also, your biggest enemy in this stage is going to be Steam, and also these things that like to move back and forth. Oh, I timed that wrong. Yeah, what I wanted to, or what I was supposed to do was time it so that the Steam would leave just as that other thing was going to the right. And I definitely screwed up that jump. Yeah, because I wanted to get that life. Ooh, wills. And the tricky thing about this first part of the stage is that you actually can't kill any enemies here, which is kind of odd considering that, you know, this is a Mega Man game, so they're shooting. Instead, we just have to keep moving. Let's see, they reuse this bubble section in Mega Man 9, but pretty much all you're doing is just riding the big bubble to the top and then using the little bubbles to jump to the big one. And the reason you want to go to the left here is obviously, or not obvious, but there are spikes above. And unfortunately, since this is a Mega Man game, there's a lot of trial and error, so you do have to mess up a lot, and that's really what made these games pretty fun, is that, you know, it's not a kind of game that you're supposed to just breeze through on your first try. This is a game that you had to build up your skill in order to be able to get through all the challenges it throws at you. Which is also what I like about these games, besides, you know, just how damn fun they are. There's that too. I mean, that's kind of important. But here we are in the jet bike section, and pretty much all the jet bike section is just dodging enemies and then also shooting. You cannot charge any shots here, so just keep that in mind. And here's just your obligatory mini-boss. And pretty much all I'm doing is just waiting for him to shoot and then jumping over it and then just shooting that green part, which is his weak spot. Let's just jump over you. I don't know what that was, but I like the sound of it. And see, there's gonna be an E here, so I have to stay on my toes here. Let's see, where are you? Let's see, it should be between these dolphins. Yeah, I'm staying to the left because I really don't feel like missing this thing. And since I'm recording, watch me miss it. Okay, I guess I didn't miss it. Yeah, then again, I did play that a little bit too cautiously, so maybe that was not the smart thing to do. Of course, what also wasn't the smart thing to do was to get hit a ton in that section. So now I just need to clear this one guy. Yes, the one guy I actually get to take out with a Mega Buster. But here we are at Waveman, and pretty much all Waveman does is he fires a wave, fires his harpoon at you, and then you have to not jump into the wave like that. And yeah, he's a tricky one like that. And the biggest thing with Waveman is that he can generate that wave in front of him, and then you shoot through it, and then it ends up blocking you. But fortunately, the Mega Buster actually takes out every boss pretty easily in this game. And pretty much the whole story behind why the Mega Buster is the way it is that after Mega Man 4, Dr. Kozak, I just decided to thank Mega Man by making his Mega Buster really overpowered and also building him beat. Which is always a pretty nice thing for a guy like him to do. But we get the water wave, and pretty much all the water wave does is it rides the ground and just hits whichever it's in its way. Let's see, I think I want to go to Gravity Man next. I mean, out of all the stages, Gravity Man's is probably the most interesting. And the reason for that is because, obviously the main gimmick is gravity. Don't know what was going on there. And the biggest thing with the gravity is anytime you cross these, or these sections with the arrows pointed down and up, you end up flipping over. And the controls are reversed, so you do have to keep that in mind. You use up and jump instead of down and jump to slide. And use down to climb ladders up, I guess. And they actually do use this concept, and they do a really good job with it, I feel. But getting back to what I said about how nothing really stands out in this game, even though I do like Beat, it's really just the Robot Masters that don't really stand out, and Gravity Man stage is probably the only one that really comes close to, I guess, being a cool stage. I mean, in Mega Man 2 you had Quick Man stage, and Mega Man 3 you had Shadow Man's personality and the whole Doc Robot thing. And then Mega Man 4 you had Pharaoh Man and Ring Man and some of those guys. But yeah, outside of that there really wasn't much to work with in Mega Man 5. Which by then they were probably working on Mega Man X at this time, so I don't know. Anyway, to get this thing you have to make a short jump. So that's the first M. And fortunately I did end up getting that E, so I don't have to backtrack to Wave Man stage. Which I guess helps me save time. And also you don't have to see that, which is always one thing that saves time for you. And I'm just gonna wait for this guy, and then shoot him. Now just remember to hold down when you're trying to jump. Or not hold down, but just remember not to hold up when you're trying to jump. And I'm somebody that does hold up and jump whenever they're trying to jump over spikes. So that's just something to keep in mind. But here we are at Gravity Man. His weakness is actually Starman's weapon. And I definitely forgot to mention all these guys' weaknesses. But I'll get into that when we get to the boss rush, because you know that's coming. And see, the trickiest thing about this guy is that you do have to get your timing right in order to hit him. And also he likes to shoot at you, just to mess with your timing. But if you do have your timing down, this guy's actually pretty easy. And he's a decent choice to take on first, but you know, a lot of people go for Starman or Stone Man. And I always went for Gravity Man first for some reason. So after that we get the Gravity Hold, and it's a little different from Gravity Beetle's weapon in Mega Man X3, and then it's a little bit more instantaneous, but at the same time it's also really easy to waste. So that's just something you gotta keep in mind. It is actually pretty useful for clearing out some smaller bad guys, which I will demonstrate right now in Charge Man stage. So instead I'll just clear out these guys. Just like so. And the thing with Charge Man stage is that it takes place on a train. Obviously he is Charge Man, which is train based. And you got these Metools shooting okay, I definitely should have refilled some Gravity Hold there, but oh well. You got some Metools shooting and then charging at you in train form, which is something that's always pretty decent. And out of the themes for the 8 Robot Masters, I do like this theme. And here we are inside the train, and we're greeted by a chicken robot for some reason. I don't know, I guess Proto Man was just feeling random that day. As to why they would employ chickens and Sheldon from Orson's farm. Now, damn it, I did it again. Yeah, I just definitely need to get Gravity Hold back. And the only problem I find with Gravity Hold is that it does take up 4 lines per use, so it's really easy to run through it. So let's see, all I'm doing is just jumping over these things. And see, outside of that, the enemies in this stage really aren't much of a challenge. Let's see, there's these, actually I should demonstrate the gyro attack now. Yeah, basically all those guys do is, you can tell when they're gonna attack you by their sound. Also, that's just spikes put there for some reason. Not really sure why they thought that was a good idea, but they did. And that's also there just to mess with you. I mean, you would think there would be like some sort of bonus for rush jetting to the other side, but there is not. There is only death. So let's just keep going here. And see, Charge Man's weakness is the Power Stone, but a lot of people actually find it a lot easier with the Mega Buster. And you'll see why once I get to the Power Stone, but that is not going to be until the end of the game. And also the Power Stone is pretty much in the conversation for the most useless weapon in the entire series. But let's see, I'll just get into that more as this game goes on. Because I need to shoot this guy in the head with his really tricky hitbox. And also he likes to put his arms up and block your shots. So here we are, Charge Man. And the biggest thing that makes Charge Man tough is that whenever he charges at you, obviously, you can't hurt him. And also he likes to walk into you and mess with your timing when you're trying to jump over him. Just like that. And sometimes he likes to attack you. And see, other times he'll just keep walking. But other than that, Charge Man doesn't really do much. I mean, the trickiest thing you have to worry about is just not running into him. And I almost no-hit him. I mean, the coals are actually pretty simple to dodge. Except when he decides to screw with me like that, and that. Yeah, I wasn't gonna fall for it that time. But we are done here. I also like how the stage keeps moving as you're fighting him. I thought that was a pretty good touch. And here we get the Charge Kick, and the thing with the Charge Kick is that you have to activate it by sliding. It has its uses, but outside of that it's a decent weapon. Not really earth-shattering. So with that, and 3 more Robot Masters to go, join me next time as I take out those 3 Robot Masters and get to Proto Man. I will see you soon.